Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Erica.
We kept going.
We did. We watched episode 1 of Serial 000 Time Monster. It's noteworthy because there's only two production codes that have O in them. It's 00 the Ice Warriors and 000 the Time Monster. That's it. This is the last time the letter O features in a Doctor Who production code.
I feel like 000.
It's magic. Yeah.
No, I was going to say it sounds like an orgasm joke, which fits right in with the boob joke of Tom Tit and the dick joke of that stupid time censor.
Yep. Welcome to the Time Monster.
Wow. It's if you take that stuff out of it and some I don't know, 26% of the feminism jokes, then it's just your average, this is a Doctor Who episode with a master, starting off a new story. Joe is wearing a kickin' pair of boots and a cute dress. The doctor's being the doctor. They're working together and then the master's off doing some dastardly stuff that we don't completely recognize. But yeah, then you've got this layer of were they just toking up and yeah, dude, this is gonna be super funny. It's weird.
This is the most 70s Doctor Who episode I think we've seen yet. And it's taken until 1972 to get there.
As we know because of the copyright date at the end of the episode.
I was so nervous as the credits rolled, thinking, they still do have copyright dates, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't say it. Didn't say anything, Siri. I don't know. No. Oh, no, I said it again. I didn't say. Sorry, everyone listening who has an Apple device. No, that's a Google thing. It's fine.
In the last episode, we had the Google go off, and now we've got what's her name. So, sorry, listeners. Our devices want to play.
They really do. And why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they all want to join in the fun like everyone seems to be doing here on the Time Monster?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, overall, it's interesting.
Right.
I appreciate the master, taking up yet another disguise somewhere and conning and hypnotizing everybody into believing that he is an expert in something. This is some good master stuff.
Right.
I enjoy it. Recognizing that Unit is on the case, so he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna quick switch out. Nicely done.
Yep.
And then you've got the classic Pertwee era blowhard of the Proctor coming in and being like,
Proctor is the guy who we saw Proctor and we thought we were the man from the Ministry. It's they cast so perfectly when they're casting men from the Ministry, and they do it again.
Yep, they really did. Like, this is he's great at what he does, and there's a lot of this that is to like.
Right.
It's like they weren't taking it seriously, so I feel like I shouldn't take it seriously. So I guess for the rest of this, I'm not going to take this very seriously.
It's we're only in episode 1. I don't know what.
Yeah. Tread carefully, because I would like to experience this as unspoiled as possible, besides all the things that I said that I already knew before. And I did know that the master is in it, and I did recognize the name Tom Tit. I had forgotten. But I think there are going to be a number of other elements that we're going to get to in this story, and I'm going to go, oh yeah, I knew about that. I just couldn't call it up to mind.
Right. I'm just sort of thinking, whenever you can tell that everyone on screen is just having fun, it often results in a much worse episode, be it Time Flight. I know that Peter Davison says, Earthshock was hell when we made that, but it was a much better episode. We all had a blast making Time Flight, and it's crap.
I really like Time Flight, so shut up, all of you.
It doesn't look as good as Earthshock. Just do that.
Well, wait until we get to Earthshock, and I can reevaluate how I feel, because I've seen Time Flight at least twice. Maybe 3 times since I've seen Earthshock, so I don't know.
That's true. There's a certain smugness, though, when they're sort of, we're having fun and we can do whatever we want, and that kind of comes across in the worst instance in the end of time, because they're really indulging themselves because it's the end of an era. This feels like the end of an era. It's just the end of a season, and not even that, because they shoot another story after this. But it just feels like, hey, we're all just having fun, and it's just there's all sorts of all that Cretan jazz, Simmer Down Stew, all these like little bits of 70s catchphrases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't mind that stuff. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's the dialogue being fun and of its era that's fine with me. I like that. It's the production side stuff. When the production team is treating something like a joke, that's a completely different thing from the actors and the characters being jokey, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I often wonder when it comes to like double entendres and all these other silly things about how innocent was it back in the olden days?
It was not.
It was not. And yet, I want to point out that during the 1972 presidential election, the re-election campaign of Richard Nixon, there were literal buttons that said, no one, because of course we're talking about Tricky Dick here, no one can lick our dick.
Which at the time, just like now, I will say, just like now, there are plenty of people.
Somebody approve that. Sorry, just saying.
And I'm saying, right now, there are still people who would approve that and who wouldn't get it. And there have always been people who have not gotten that joke.
That's true.
I feel like now, especially with the age of the internet, there are a lot fewer people in that category. Whereas, like at the time, I guarantee you there are a lot of people who saw those buttons and who got those buttons not because they were supporting him, but because they thought it was effing hilarious, which it was. Yeah. People have always been in, like, there is graffiti in Rome about, like,
maybe Atlantis too.
Yeah, and maybe, yeah. Like there's all kinds of stuff that shows you that previous cultures all had those kinds of jokes. It is nothing new. We did not invent it. They did not invent it in the 70s. They didn't invent it in the 1870s or the 1770s or that. Like, we could go back as far as you want to. But there are always people who are so prim and proper that they're just not going to recognize or notice. Right. And guess what? I'm not one of those people, so I'm noticing your jokes. No. I see you, Robert Sloman. I see you, Barry Letts. Yep. I see you, Terrence Dix.
Yep. Somehow I got through. Top tip. You would never get away with that if you were making Doctor Who now. It would never happen because our minds are filthy.
You also couldn't make that ridiculous time sensor.
Nope.
That is one thing that, wow, Eagle Moss, don't touch that.
Nope. These things and more were pointed out in the excellent book Doctor Who: A Discontinuity Guide, co-written by our friend Paul Cornell. So there you go. I also like. So what did you think of Ruth Ingram and basically Sloman, Letts, and Terrence Dix discover feminism and put it in the script?
It's like the thing is I actually like her character, but I chalk it entirely up to the actress and her performance. It is her taking a thankless script and turning it into just the way that she handles it and plays it, her not quite rolling her eyes. I mean, there are some lines that there's just nothing she can do about, and she just has to sound like, a quote-unquote screechy, strident feminist. And yeah, it is played for laughs. It feels very, I don't know, cartoony in many points, and the music doesn't help.
Nope.
Yeah, at one point I was like, it's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Because, like,
we did it.
Yes. And it reminded me of, and the radiation suits reminded me of the Mike TV scene when he gets translated across. Oh, we're going to have to watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory again because you look confused.
I don't remember that. I remember I liked the songs and Gene Wilder and stuff.
Yeah, well, I guess I know what we're doing next. But yeah, so it did remind me of that, and then the music got all wacky, and I was just like, yeah, this is a little bit trippy and cartoony, and yeah, I'm a little nervous for the rest of it. I'm like, I need to, between now and whenever we watch the next episode.
The gaps between now and now.
Yes. Also, I do appreciate the fact that Sergeant Benton is the one that got it. That was a very nice touch.
Yep. The squatty is the one that explains it to everyone.
Yep. Because and that's kind of nice too, because it is such a it's a really good explanation of a sort of wild and out there concept that you have to sort of be a little bit, I don't know. You have to either be really, really far on the side of super smartness or maybe a little fuzzy brained to get that sort of a wacky concept, and it makes perfect sense for Benton to get it. So that's a thing that I really liked.
It's kind of like intelligence is on a scale, not necessarily left to right, but a circular scale. That once it just sort of circles around to being very stupid and very not understanding it, but therefore seeing through all the knowledge and just sort of getting to the grips of it.
Yeah, he's not distracted by too much, so he gets it. Which works.
Poor Sergeant Benton.
I know, but that's who he is.
He's about to go on a 48-hour pass, all ready to go. Has his suit and tie. Oh, nope. Guess what, Bento? You are going to work.
Yeah, I felt bad for him, too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder what he was about to go off to do.
I don't know. I think in a previous... Where is he? He's taking his sister to a dance or something like that. There was a previous story in season 8. Maybe he's taking his sister somewhere else. I don't know. I think it's euphemism. I think he's covering up for something. Everyone is got. There's always going to be some sort of joke or some other double entendre in this episode. So whatever you think, it's worse.
Benton, good old Benton.
Good old Bento.
But yeah,
Bento.
but I was.
I don't know why I'm calling him Bento, but whatever.
Yeah, that's weird.
Just got to think of a nickname, so I'm just going to take the last letter, and now he's a box. He's a sushi. Anyway.
Not a fan of parts of the writing in this, but definitely a fan of some of it. This is a very mixed bag.
Yep. Also, it has similarities to another Sloman Letts joint, that being the first episode of The Demons, where the Doctor and Joe are in Bessie and they're rushing to get to a place and thing possibly involving Atlantis, where the Master is summoning a something at the end of episode 1. That is almost exactly how episode 1 of The Demons ends. But
did they have super drive at that point?
No, but did they have an inertia? No, I'm thinking the anti-theft system in Ambassadors of Death. I don't think they had the super drive in The Demons yet.
Which also felt kind of cartoony, but that was cartoony in a way that, I don't know, seemed to fit a little better.
Yeah. James Bond, gadget-y kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah. Yes. And I did like the Doctor and Joe working together to, I didn't like the instrument, but I liked the use of instrumentation to, try to figure out where they needed to be. That was nice.
Yeah. Earlier this week, you in Grand Theft Auto Online, you have a penthouse suite. And I took you on a tour of this suite that you'd never seen before because I bought it for him. Bought it. And in it was this game controller, this video game controller. Yes. And you said, oh, that looks like a penis or something like that. And I didn't say anything because if you see it in the game, it is 100% like the Doctor's TARDIS sniffer outer. 100%.
It looks exactly the same.
Exactly it.
Yep. Very, very phallic.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say something thinking of Grand Theft Auto just totally drove it out of my mind.
Sorry about that. Was it inertia? Was it cars? Was it Atlantis? Was it the dream sequence at the very beginning? You were like, what is happening?
Oh my God. Okay, yeah, that was trippy. I was like, I actually said, is this the first episode? Yep. Are you sure? But yes. I mean, and that's... I'm okay with that. The Doctor having weird dreams related to the Master, they can be psychically connected. That's fine. Mm-hmm. It was weird, and weird in a way that fit in with the rest of the episode. So in retrospect, I'm less okay with it just because of the weird stuff in the episode. But yeah, that's fine. I was a little bit disappointed for Joe's sake that she had read him a bunch of news stuff the day before and he completely ignored her. Not cool, Doctor. No. And then later, when she probably guesses, or maybe educated guesses, what the time sensor thing does, and he his laugh at, oh, Joe, you're learning. It's just like, wow, you are. And like, he just keeps ignoring her. Like, he's really kind of a jerk to her, which maybe that is another similarity between this and the demons. When you get this this writer, you get really crappy Dr. Joe relationship. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Barry Letts always said, oh, it was 50-50. Exactly 50-50 between the two of us about writing the episode. I don't know who wrote what. Like, how do you write 50-50 when you're co-writing a script? Do you like, okay, this is your scene now. You write this. It's like, let's word. You write the first word of the sentence. I'll write the second and carry on after that. I don't know how that all works. But yeah, I wonder whose feet we have to lay the blame at for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's interesting. Yep.
Terry Walsh on a ladder.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you had to know something was going to happen there. Mm-hmm.
After Christopher Barry fooling us in the Mutants by him being around an entire episode and not doing a stunt fall, like he just like, okay, this is just too obvious. Terry Walsh up a ladder. Shaka when the walls fell.
Yep. Oh, I just almost remembered whatever the thing was that I was going to say. No, something that you said reminded me of it, and now I'm not sure what it was. Oh, well, I'm sure it wasn't that important.
Are you going to remember for episode 2, like in 2 days' time or something like that? We're going to have to watch the whole episode again?
Oh, God, no. I make no promises. I'm not even certain it was something specifically to do with this episode. It might have just been some random observation that came into my head and then went right out. So. Okay,
well, it was about the TARDIS sniffer. I feel we've talked a lot about the TARDIS sniffer outer at this point. On location, though, during those scenes, that was the first and only time, apparently, where John Pertwee and Katie Manning had a bit of a spat. Yeah, because I think they got the map wrong or something, which is ironic because I think it's a scene in the Demons that actually has Joe mixed up. Is it in this one or was it in the Demons? See, I'm getting these two stories confused now too. I know my convention anecdotes are starting to jumble up.
Whoops.
Well, I can't think of anything else to say about the Time Monster episode 1.
I'm curious. I'm buckling up, I guess, for the next one whenever we get to it. Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. All right. That's the start. Mm-hmm. We started it.
Yep.
Now you know what you're in for, or do you?
I really don't know.
Find out on the next episode of Lazy Doctor Who on the Incomparable Network.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.